episode of Sugarfolk Homemade, a knitting podcast where I talk primarily about what I've been knitting on, and occasionally I will talk about what I've been crocheting or sewing or other fiber crafts, anything really that I've seen on Pinterest that I've decided I need to try. My name is Michaela. I live in a small town in North Carolina with my husband and our 3 small children, and I love to be crafty. So I don't always have the time to craft with having 3 small children, so my brain is always overflowing with ideas, and I felt like this was the perfect place to share those ideas. So let's jump right in. I don't typically, or I won't typically, record this often. Okay, this hair is driving me crazy. Where did it come from? What in the world? Okay, there we go. I won't typically record this often because I don't always have a lot to show, because like I said, I'm pretty busy with my children, and so it takes me a while to finish projects. But is this even recording? I think so. You can tell I'm still new. But anyways, I had to come on and just kind of update you guys and say thank you so much for the success of my first podcast episode, because it went so well. I did not expect to really get more than like 50 views, and I ended up with like almost 50 subscribers and almost 300 views on that video alone, which is just crazy to me that many people care enough about what I'm doing to watch and spend 20 minutes of their life just watching me ramble about things. So thank you very much for subscribing and for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, if you are into this kind of thing, please do. And yeah, the last video was a little crazy because my phone kept glitching and my children were loud, and it was just kind of a mess. But I'm happy to say I've made some filming improvements. So last time I had my phone set up on so many things stacked on top of each other. It was like a vintage oil thing, and then a bunch of books, and then this plant, and I had my phone sitting inside the plant, and it was a disaster. So I bought a tripod. It's amazing. I can see myself using it for a lot of different things, like family photos and things like that. So super handy. And it was only like 20 bucks on Amazon. And I also downloaded an editing app, if you couldn't tell by the intro. And I am no professional. Like, my brain still works on like a Microsoft PowerPoint level when it comes to editing any kind of moving picture, whatever, video. But I did finally find an app that is easy for me to understand, and although this part of the video is just going to be one long running segment, which will be obvious because I'm going to mess up a lot, I already know, I already have, it's whatever. But I do hope you enjoyed the intro, and I'm also going to have a little outro for you guys, and I will be able to actually share photos over here of what I'm talking about. So yeah, I'm excited about that. And then also, my dear husband, who I love, for Valentine's Day, bought me a new phone. In my old video, or my last video, my phone kept glitching and the audio kept like spitting, and I had to delete so much stuff just to have enough storage to film. So I got a new phone with more storage and hopefully no glitching. We'll find out, fingers crossed. So yeah, I'm finally ready to be a YouTuber, I guess. So yeah, let's jump right into the knitting after I got all that film improvement stuff out of the way. So as I said, I haven't got a ton of knitting done just because it's been a crazy past couple weeks, but I just was so excited to come back on here and have a well put together video and not have my children screaming, although you guys did seem to like my children, so they're in the outro, you'll see them. But I will show you some of my progress. It's not much, but I'll still show you. And I do have yarn acquisitions later, so it's not totally boring. So first, I have my Weekender light, and last time I showed the printout of the picture that I have in here with the project, and you might not have been able to see it, so I'm going to include a little picture here of what the Weekender light looks like. And last time I forgot to show you guys this adorable bag. Isn't it so cute? I love it. It's from the Woolly Tangle on Etsy. My grandmother bought it for me for my birthday, and it's the perfect size for keeping a sweater project in. And I just love it. It's so cute, and it stands up on its own, so all my yarn is in the bottom, and it stays upright when I'm using it. It's not just like flopping all over the place, which is really nice. So that's the bag. And like I said, I haven't made a ton of progress on this, but I'm getting somewhere, which is what matters. Slow and steady wins the race, right? I hope I'm talking loud enough. My audio last time was kind of terrible. I don't know how to fix it though. I feel like I'm talking really loud and my kids are asleep, so I hope I don't wake them up. So this is how far I've got. It always looks so weird squished up on the needles, but just bear with me. So I only have a few more inches to go on the body, and I am going to keep it kind of cropped, so not as long as she says to do it, just because I like things that hit right at my waist and not like super baggy. So yeah, made a little bit of progress. This is just my mindless knitting because it's mostly stockinette. And yeah. And after that, I still am working on these wood nymph socks for my sister-in-law. At Christmas time, I told her I would have them done in 3 to 6 weeks, and it has now been, I guess, 7 weeks? Something like that. And I'm struggling because the only other socks I've ever knit were just stockinette, and so they were quick. I could just sit and do them whenever, but this is a chart with lace detail, and I have to actually sit down and focus on it, and when you have 3 small children running around, it's hard to focus on anything. So last time I was still working on the cuff, and I've at least got a little bit more done. I have like 4 repeats of the chart done, almost to the heel, and I just really need to buckle down and get these finished for her. I did let her try on the first one and she loved them, so I am excited that they are going to a perfect home. And as I said last time, I keep my sock projects in this little purse that I found in a thrift store. It's just super cute, and I don't carry a purse because I always just have a diaper bag, so I bought this to use as a purse, and then I was like, I'm never going to use that, so it became my sock bag. And my next work in progress was, or is, and will be for quite a while probably, the Jupiter crop. And last time I also showed a picture of my printed out picture of it, but I will put it here so you can see it better. And I've made a little bit of progress on this. Let me figure out where the back is. Is that the back? Yeah, okay. So it does look tiny because it's all squished on the needles, but I'm almost finished with the yoke. I have a few more repeats of this orange pattern down here, and then I can separate for the sleeves and start working down. And I will say, I don't think I'm a color work person. I love seeing it change, but it's just very, I don't know, it's a lot. And I bought one of these little like colorwork rings that you put on your finger, and it holds the different yarns so you can hold them all at once, because I typically will like hold one and then drop it and pick up the next one, and that's just not efficient. So I bought this ring because I saw, who did I see talking about it? I can't remember. But I bought one on Amazon and I can't use it. It doesn't work for me. Like, the yarn just keeps falling out of the hoops, and I meant to bring it over here so I could show you what I meant, but I forgot. And anyways, it just isn't working for me, so I'm still just going pretty slow on this, and I only work on it probably an hour a day after my husband and I are finished watching TV, so it doesn't get picked up often, although I really do want to wear it this spring, so I really want to get it done. Okay, so that's all my progress on my works in progress. So, moving on to yarn acquisitions and future projects. So, first things first, as soon as I finish the socks for my sister-in-law, I have got to get started on something for my new, not yet, my upcoming future niece. And she will be born in April, and it's kind of become like a tradition that I will make something for all of the new babies in the family. So I have got to get started on this. Her baby shower is in March, and I was hoping to have it ready for her by then, but I just don't know if I will, so surely by the time she's born. And what I'm going to make for her is the Lil Dahlia Solo. I'll put it here. It's a onesie, and it's so cute. I need more babies so I can put these cute baby things on babies. How many times can I say baby? So anyways, it takes fingering weight yarn, and I thought this was just the perfect little color for spring. It's like a pastel mint green. Oh, it's so cute. It's gonna be so cute on that onesie. And I got, this is Sheepjeez. I still don't know if that's how you say it. Sheepjeez Organicon. This is organic cotton. I thought that would be perfect for a little baby. So it won't be scratchy like wool or anything like that, and surely it won't irritate her skin at all, because you know, onesie typically is worn just like straight on the skin, so I wanted it to be nice and soft, and it is very soft. And the colorway is, where did it go? Oh, Sweet Apple. Perfect name, very fitting. And I hope I have enough yarn. It says in the pattern that I do, and I should, because I think I'm going to make the 0 to 3 month option so that my niece can wear it in the spring when she's born. So I should have enough, and I might even have a little left over, so maybe I can make a little bonnet or something to match. We'll see. I need to see how I fare. But as soon as I finish my sister-in-law's socks, I have got to get started on this, and I will probably work on this monogamously. Is that the word? Just working on this one thing to get it knocked out, because I really want to have it ready for her baby shower so I can gift it to her. So we will see. And after I finish this, oh, by the way, I get all my yarn on Lovecrafts. It seems to be the cheapest place for me, at least. I would love to eventually be able to make like a basic everyday sweater with some indie dyed yarn. I've seen so many beautiful yarns on Etsy and other people's podcasts of hand dyed yarn, and they're so pretty. It's just not on my budget right now, but one day I really do want to get a sweater's quantity of something kind of speckled, like a tweedy yarn, to make just a basic everyday neutral sweater, because it's also pretty, and I would love to support a hand dyer, but it is just a little bit out of my budget right now. So for now, Lovecrafts comes in for the win. These, I want to say these were only like $3 or something like that. Really, really cheap. And when it comes to like making big items like sweaters and stuff, I really need cheaper yarn, even if it's not as good quality. I don't know, I'm not at the point in my knitting yet where I consider myself like really good and like worthy of expensive yarn. I don't know, does anyone else feel that way? I don't know, it just feels weird. Like, I feel like this is my hobby, I shouldn't spend all my money on it, but then I really want to at the same time. So after I finish this, I will continue picking back up on my other projects and starting a pair of socks for myself, because I got this yarn that I can't wait to try, and it's the Regia 4-ply sock yarn, and this is in the colorway, it doesn't say, but I'm almost positive it's called Cardamom, because when I saw it I was like, that's the perfect name. And this is a self-striping yarn, which is fabulous. I'm so excited because I've learned that when it comes to socks, I really, really prefer knitting just a stockinette in the round sock, basic sock, because I like the mindlessness of it, and it's so small on such tiny needles that a mindless stockinette is really my favorite. But it also gets a little boring if it's just one solid color, so self-striping yarn does the work for you, and I'll put a picture here of what it looks like when it's all knitted up so you can see how the stripes lay. And I'm just really, really excited because it's got some purples and some pinks, but it also has browns and oranges, so it's just a really nice color, and there'll be some really nice fall socks. So I'm excited to get started on these. I have got to get my hands busy. I have so much I want to do and so little time. Okay, that's really all I have for knitting this week. Like I said, I don't have a lot to show because I only podcasted like 2 weeks ago, but I just wanted to talk to you guys. But I do have some sewing stuff to show. So first things first, I have to show you this super cute little sewing box. Also, I'm really sorry if I'm like looking at myself and then looking at the camera. I don't know where I'm supposed to look. I'll figure it out eventually, I'm sure. But I got this super cute little sewing box at Goodwill. And my husband always makes fun of me because he just swears that I like am an old lady in a small person or young person's body. But I thought this was so cute. And I keep my thread and stuff. It's this little... Oh no, I just realized it's missing an ear. I didn't even know. Now I'm curious if it's like fallen off somewhere. Well, one-eared bunny rabbit here. Just makes it that much more quirky, right? It's a little wicker basket, and when you open it up, it even has a little carrot. It's so cute. And I just keep some threads, and I did have, and my sewing needle for my sewing machines. Sewing needles for my sewing machine in here. And I just think it's so cute. I can't believe I didn't know it was missing an ear. How did I not notice that? I'm pretty convinced that it must have fallen off recently because I really never noticed it. Maybe I've just never looked at it from this angle. I've always looked at it from the front. Oh well, it's still cute. So, I bought these shorts from Etsy. Sorry, there was like no transition into that. Going on to my sewing. I bought this pair of shorts from Etsy. And they're vintage, floral, high-waisted, everything I love. But they're from the 90s, so they were really long. And I wanted to shorten them a bit. So I went ahead and cut the hem off, and I was planning on re-sewing the hem. But my sewing machine was just not cooperating with me. And you'll see in my outro, I took a video of me sewing. I have an old 1961 white, it's called White brand, vintage sewing machine, and when it works great, but sometimes it gets jammed up and I just can't mess with it. Like, it makes me so frustrated trying to fix it and like messing with the bobbin and stuff because the bobbin doesn't always stay in. It's always just like flying out, and then there's thread everywhere, and it's just a disaster. But I finally sat down and I got some canned air and I sprayed the whole thing down and I re-threaded the whole thing, and I said, okay, I want to wear these shorts like tomorrow. So I need to get this thing working because I really don't want to sew it by hand. I can sew by hand fine, but it's just so much quicker when you're just doing straight lines to use a sewing machine. So finally got it working, and I fixed the shorts and I'm wearing them. I'm going to show you what they look like. I am by no means a seamstress. This hair again. What is going on? I am by no means a seamstress. I have sewn many, many things in my life, and all of them you can tell were done by me because I cut corners a lot, sometimes literally, and I'm just, as long as it ends up looking decent, that's all I'm worried about. So, and it's always for myself. Like if I was sewing for someone else, I might put a little bit more effort into it, but it's typically just for me, and I'm just not that picky. So, anyways, these are the shorts. Okay, let me back up a bit. So, they're super cute. I am a sucker for all things floral. You'll probably notice a trend that I always have on something floral. And yeah, I just got them a little shorter. They were all the way down to like the knee because they were 90s, but I didn't want them to look too parachutey, so I shortened the hem, and I just love them. And I'm always talking about Etsy, but I love Etsy. Anything I ever want, I can just search it in there and I can find it. A lot of times it's out of my budget, but it's still there to look at. So yeah, I got these on Etsy, and I just love them so much. Like I said, anything floral, I'll take it. Oh, And what I did with the leftover fabric that I cut off of the hem was I made a little hair bow. Let's see if I can do this. I may have to get on the floor. So I made a little hair bow to match. And I feel very like schoolgirly, which that's like a look now, the academia aesthetic or look. I don't really know how you say it or like what you call it. But that's like a thing now. I'm not on very many social medias, but it's all over Pinterest. So I have seen it. But I'm kind of liking the bow and the hair. And I just recently, as in recently, I mean like 3 days ago, chopped all my hair back off. I'm consistently going back and forth between longer and short, and yeah, it's just a problem. But I think that it looks really cute with the short hair and a little bow. Makes me not look as old as I am. Not that I'm old, but you know. I also did sew a few stuffed animals of my daughter's. They had some holes in them, and she kept picking the fuzz out of them, and I would just go in to get her up in the morning and there would be fuzz everywhere. So I finally sewed that hole back up, and then the lady I babysit for brought me a stuffed animal of her child's that needed to be fixed, so I sewed her face back up. And those aren't really worth showing, but yeah, so I haven't been totally unproductive in the past couple weeks. I have sewn some things, and I am planning on sewing soon. I think I'm actually going to show you. This specific episode is kind of turning into like a sewing episode, so I apologize, but maybe I should change it to like just a fiber arts podcast, because I jump around a lot. Anyways, I want to grab this pattern and my fabric because I forgot to bring it over here. But I'm very excited about it, so I want to show it to you. I'll be right back. Okay. As I said before, my editing skills are decent, but I'm not going to edit that out, so sorry you had to wait. Okay, so I have this Dottie Angel frock pattern, and I'm obsessed with it. I've been eyeing this for years. It's been on my Pinterest boards for years, and finally I got on Etsy and I was like, let me see if I can find this thing. So I found it, and someone from Australia shipped it to me. It took like 2 months to get here, but it finally did. And then my mom, who is so sweet, and she's such a great gift giver. She took me to our local fabric store and let me pick out some fabric to make it. So, these are the fabrics I got, and while I was in there, everything is kind of categorized by like era and I don't know, I guess just era. And I realized like every single fabric I was drawn to was part of the Civil War era. So I guess that's like my thing, I guess. So I got this fabric, just a basic, it's just a little flower, but the colors are very muted, which I really like for such a like a farmhousey kind of casual like work outside kind of frock. I didn't want something like loud and busy, so this is perfect. So I got this for the top part because you can see it's got contrasts. So this is for the top 2/3, and then I got, oh, I love this this brown and white, very vintage looking floral to go on the bottom third. And this is just so pretty. Like, I like dainty ditzy florals, but these kind of florals, like the ones on my shorts and also on my sock bag, these are my jam. Like, dress me in this every single day and I will be happy. So that's the bottom third. And then for the pockets, so the pattern has 2 pockets on it, but I am going to do, and I think I'll see if I can put a picture here of what I'm talking about, like my inspiration. I saved it on Pinterest. But instead of doing 2 pockets, I want to do one big, really not a pocket, more of like an applique off to the side, maybe centered, I'm not sure yet, but of this right here. This was a table runner that my great grandmother, whom I was named after, embroidered. And you can see it is hand embroidered. And it is long. I used the other end like this. It's cut off. I used it to make an apron dress that I made for my mom because it's her grandmother. I made her an apron dress with this as a pocket. And that was also a Dottie Angel sewing pattern. So I want to make the other side on mine, and like I said, I should have already shown you the picture of what I'm talking about. I just think it's going to be so cute and perfect for spring and summer, just for, you know, days at the house, which are kind of where we all are right now. So yeah, that's really all I have going on in my crafting brain the past couple weeks. And yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed this video, although there wasn't much to see. I do plan on podcasting again probably in like 3 or 4 weeks, and I should have some finished projects to show you then and some new cast-ons. So I'm very excited. And like I said earlier, I did make an outro for you guys. I know a lot of my family is on here, so I did include some photos and videos of my family throughout the past couple weeks, just a little montage. And yeah, I am so glad that this is going well. I'm still blown away that so many people care enough about what I have to say. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and for subscribing. And if you haven't yet, please do. It would mean very much to me. And yeah, until next time, happy crafting!